heard of the last 5 years was about a year and a half ago when I was talking with Dustin. Dustin and I were working on a concert kind of show together, and he was actually doing my hair, and we were just chatting. And he just mentioned that there was the show that he had been wanting to do for a long time, and it was called The Last 5 Years, and he had been talking with Liz. And I said, so you and Liz want to do a show together? And he said, yeah, we've been talking about it. It'd be great. And I said, would you like to do it at Blue Ridge? And he said, really? And I said, yes, absolutely.
I first heard about The Last 5 Years some number of years ago. I honestly can't even remember. I'm just such a Broadway freak. And I had actually heard Jason Robert Brown's other work. I had heard Parade and 13, and somehow I had missed The Last 5 Years, and so I started digging into it.
Well, I first heard about The Last 5 Years when I was a sophomore at JMU about 10 years ago, and I was driving a car, and some music major friends of mine were playing it, and they were like, you have to listen to this, and of course I just got completely hooked, and ever since then just dreamed of playing that role.
I became really fascinated with the idea of looking at a relationship over 5 years and the way the story works, so that you're looking at one perspective from the beginning of the relationship to the end, and the other perspective is from the end of the relationship to the beginning. It was very fascinating to me.
Actually, it was about 5 years ago. I was listening to Pandora Radio, and a song came on that was just fascinating to me because it talked about a former stripper and her snake, Wayne. And I thought, what kind of musical has these kind of lyrics?
Think about how I love you. Say you've been with me. Think of what's great about me and you. Think of the bullshit we both been through. Think of what's past, because we can do better.
I play the role of Kathy Hyatt, or Catherine Hyatt, and I can relate to her a lot. She is a struggling actress living in New York City, just trying to make it. She's a little insecure. She has high, lofty goals, but I relate to that. I mean, I wanted to be an opera singer, and I started pursuing it, decided it wasn't for me, the whole performance lifestyle, and those feelings of rejections after auditions, I've experienced that. I've experienced feeling really insecure about my talent, feeling really unsure if that's what I was supposed to do. She acts out on some of those insecurities by sort of wanting to control people, and which, of course, results in making Jamie just want to flee, because that is what naturally happens.
That wouldn't matter if you once were in jail or you once were dead. If your mother and your brother had relations with each other, and your father was connected to the Gotti clan, I'd say, well, nobody's perfect. It's tragic, but it's true. I'd say, hey, she's our house. I've been waiting for someone like you.
I played Jamie, and when I first went into this, I thought, how on earth am I going to pull this off? Because vocally, it's challenging as hell. And just motivation-wise, I thought, this guy is so far removed from who I am. And the more that I've worked on this, the more I've begun to realize that Jamie is a lot like me. There's a lot of me in Jamie, in the same way that I think there's a lot of Kathy in Liz. And so it's made it so easy for us to work together and to understand where the other person is coming from, while at the same time having our own struggles and our own concerns. I think Jamie is one of the most fun characters that I've ever gotten to play. His music written for him in the show is beautiful. I think his music is probably some of the best in the show, and I just feel so honored to be able to do this with someone like Liz and Sandy, who are just two people very dear to me. The experience has been amazing.
Kathy and Jamie, all of their scenes are done alone, but the other person is like the person is phantom. They're there, but the actual person isn't there. So they have to carry the whole scene themselves. except for in the middle, because as Kathy moves backwards and Jamie moves forwards, they meet in the middle of the show for their wedding, and that is the only time the two actors actually work together. So that makes it a really beautiful, wonderfully exciting scene, particularly for the audience, because I think through the whole thing, the audience wants to see them together. And the great thing is that Dustin and Liz both have such fabulous chemistry, which makes it unfortunate that they're not working together more often than they are, but it makes that one scene in the middle amazing to see because the chemistry just works so well and it's just beautiful. So for me, that's my favorite scene of the whole show.
You share your life with me.
Dustin and Liz, their talent is just amazing, and actually listening to them now when I listen to the soundtrack, I like their voices better. They just mesh so much more than what I'm hearing on the soundtrack, so I can't wait to be a part of it.
I think that the show's gonna really surprise people, the emotion and the depth that's in the songs and how they bring that out. So you definitely want to come see it. It's not gonna be your normal, fuzzy, warm musical, but it's gonna reach out and it's gonna grab you. So come and see it.
I hope everybody in the area tries to come and see this show because it's just going to be phenomenal. Working with Dustin and Liz, they are such professional actors. The caliber of talent is through the roof. People are just not going to be able to believe what they're going to see, both of these people.
The show is going to be absolutely amazing. I think that Liz and Sandy and myself hold ourselves we set the bar so high for ourselves, and the result is a show that is beautiful. And Liz and I have gotten so used to hearing ourselves that we can't even listen to the soundtrack anymore because we love each other so much in these roles, and it's been absolutely amazing. And I think to share that with an audience, the audience is really going to connect with that, and I think that's what makes it work, and that's what makes this show stand out above anything else that's ever been done in this area before. So I hope that everyone is going to come.
Working with Dustin has just been amazing. I mean, the two of us just mesh, vocally, and we just connect in this story. We have so many of the similar ideas of where we think the story is going, where we think our motivation is, and so it's been such an enthralling experience to be able to talk about these deep, methodical aspects of acting and performing. And Sandy has been right there coaching and molding me to be the type of actress I want to be. I think that people are going to see that. They're going to see some real raw performance from Dustin and me, and I hope so at least. But they're going to be drawn and they're going to feel something very deeply. And I think that everybody should come see this show because it is the opportunity of a lifetime to